And how have you found it now when you've kind of started practicing and you're building your own practice? Have you started to notice that you can see the space, that you can stay focused on a particular body part?
This I was actually introduced to this once back in 1996. I was at the Olympic Games in Atlanta, and we were pretty stressed out the amount of work we were doing. There was a guy called Chalky White, a swimmer coach, and he sat me down by the pool and he started talking about feel your feet, feel your ankles, feel that rising through your feet, up to your knees, up to your body, whatever. Bang, I fell asleep. Right. And that's a long 24 years ago when he taught me this particular technique. So I've actually still used that. Problem I have at the moment is I'm quite busy with work. Things are starting to click back in again. So I've kind of foregone the mindfulness for a little while because I've just been so busy. Now, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy the work. The work's fantastic. But the current thing I'm doing is coming to an end. So I'm taking a week off and I'm going to climb Cairn Tool in Kerry next week and switch the phone off because there's too much negativity out there. So that's my plan, and I'm going to just do a lot of mindfulness in this next week, including walking up mountains and doing the breathing and things like that. So, yeah, I have. I find I like these webinars as well. You know, they're great.
How about you, Claudia? How have you been getting on?
Yeah, good. So the morning routine thing, I have gotten way more strict about doing that in the last maybe 2 or 3 months.
Great.
I do this thing where like I do like meditation and an affirmation, and then I do a little bit of like inner child stuff, and then gratitude. Some mornings or some days I don't want to do it because I don't want to do it, and sometimes I find myself resistant doing it. And I'll kind of say to myself, why am I resistant doing this at the moment? And it might have been that I've had a good or a bad day. And funny enough, I think it was about 2 or 3 days ago, my friend had commented to me. She was saying, God, you just don't seem like you're in good form. And you know, it's not that I'd be real chirpy all the time, but I'm generally a positive person. And I came home that night and I was thinking to myself, why am I in bad form? And then I realized, because I'd spent the last 2 or 3 days doing things for other people, and I had done nothing for myself. Like I do see swim most days as well, and I didn't go one of the nights because I cancelled because I had my friend over, and I hadn't gone the day before, and I hadn't been doing stuff like that. And it's mad, only for she said it to me, I would have just wrote it off as, oh, I'm just having a bad day.
If I may, Justin, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate this. This is my first time that I'm joining in a live group like this, and I just find it fascinating that there's so many people that have the same interest, that actually sit on their bum at this time in the evening to be here. For me, that feels amazing. And also, you know, for opening up. And I remember, I think it was Russell Brand who once said regarding the dealing with the past, he said, I didn't forgive, I just outgrew the man who held the grudge. And I remember that in my own life, because I had this huge disagreement with my father, and I haven't spoken to him for close to 5 years. And eventually the way I felt, despite the fact that he actually hasn't done anything, we had no contact in those 5 years, so there wasn't an input from him, there was no apologizing or anything, but just kind of simmering in it and digesting it, I've gotten to a point where I realized what you were saying today is that I was just hurting myself, and I got to a point where through self discovery I kind of started seeing how I am, and I started seeing that that's actually how he is, and that helped me to basically accept him and forgive him, without him really doing anything for that forgiveness. I did it almost for myself, and he's just a beneficiary of it. But the reason why I share this is because it was a very long process. And often in my life, I've heard those nice things, you know, like we should forgive, we should digest, we should process, we should deal with, but it cannot be forced, you know. Anyway, I didn't want to hijack that, but I just really appreciated the openness of the other lady whose name I cannot pronounce correctly, so I'll skip that. So thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, Jan, and one of the things about hatred, which I always really like to give us a great sense of understanding, is that, you know, it's like a double-edged spear. So we have a blade pointing towards us, and then we have the blade as we point out. So when we go, I really hate that person, and we kind of go, bah, and we jab it, and as we pull the spear back out of them, we go, and we stick it into ourselves. So as long as we hate, it's that movement between hurting them, but actually I'm always the one who gets left holding the pain. So when I learn to actually put down the spear, I learn to be able to step away and forgive and move on. And as you rightly say, it's certainly not easy, but over time, like all things, everything is possible if you give yourself the time and effort. That's the most important thing to do, and to be kind to yourself. You know, don't expect that you're gonna, you know, I've decided I'm going to become an awakened being, so I'm going to nail this in the next 21 days. It doesn't happen like that. You know, just start trying to be good to yourself and nourish yourself, and, you know, and see what happens. Let it unfold. It's nice. So so with that, we will close. So thanks everybody. Appreciate you all being here. You can unmute. Say goodbye. That way I don't.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks,
Justin.
Many
Bye,
thanks,
everyone.
Justin.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone. At 7:30. So if you guys fancy joining, I'll put it out again, and again I'll just keep it to kind of 10 people or so that it's intimate enough that everybody can kind of chat. And
when do you do it again?
next Tuesday. So I'm going to do them on Tuesdays at 7:30.
It was, thanks for the session. It was really good tonight. I have a lot of questions, but I don't want to take up any time tonight. So I want to let some of it set. Some of the contributions were just excellent here tonight, and particularly Claudia, I can empathize a lot with what you're talking about as well. So next week, but lots to think about. So it's good. Thank you.
Thanks for that point.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, Jan. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No worries at all. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everyone have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.